On Isla Nublar, there once stood a dinosaur-themed amusement park called Jurassic World. But after a tragic event that left both humans and dinosaurs dead, the park was left deserted. 6 months later, 2 mercenaries arrive on the island in a submersible, tasked with retrieving dinosaur remains from underwater. They locate a skeleton, detach one of its ribs, and send it to the surface via a buoy. As they prepare to return, a monstrous creature emerges behind them. Up top, a helicopter crew waits to collect the sample. The communications officer grows anxious after losing contact with the men below. Meanwhile, the pilots catch movement in the forest and move quickly to aid the officer. The officer can't hear their warning due to the rain, and when he finally turns, he's horrified to see a T-Rex roaring at him. He takes off running, accidentally dropping his tablet, which gets crushed by the dinosaur. The team lowers a ladder, and he manages to leap up and grab it, narrowly avoiding the T-Rex's bite. The T-Rex clamps down on the ladder, threatening to pull the helicopter down. The crew considers cutting it loose, but the ladder eventually snaps on its own. They fly off, but just then, a Mosasaurus leaps from the sea and devours the man in a single gulp. The crew quickly notifies their superior. They've successfully secured the DNA sample. 3 years later, debate continues over the fate of the island, as a reawakened volcano now threatens to destroy it. If it erupts, the remaining dinosaurs will be wiped out. Activists believe the animals should be saved, while others argue they should be left to perish. Claire, the park's former manager, has started the Dinosaur Protection Group to fight for their survival. After the government declines to fund a rescue mission, Claire receives a critical call. She soon meets Benjamin, a wealthy philanthropist offering to finance the mission and relocate the dinosaurs to a protected sanctuary island. His aide, Eli, outlines the plan: track the animals using their implants. He also emphasizes the importance of Blue, the intelligent velociraptor, which requires her former trainer to capture. Claire visits Owen, the raptor's trainer, and tries to convince him to help while they chat at a bar. Owen dismisses the plan as absurd and declines. But later that night, as he watches old footage of baby Blue, he reconsiders. The next morning, Owen surprises Claire by boarding the plane. He meets Zia, a dinosaur vet, and Franklin, a tech expert from the protection group. Elsewhere, Benjamin speaks to his granddaughter Maisie, telling her she resembles her mother. Maisie asks if she truly looks like her, and the housekeeper reacts uneasily. Benjamin insists she does, and that her mother would have saved the dinosaurs too. When they arrive on the island, the group is surprised to find a fully equipped base already in place. They're greeted by Ken, a trophy hunter coordinating the expedition. The volcano is belching smoke, so time is short. They board trucks with the mercenaries and head through the park's main gates into the jungle. At the old park site, something shifts inside storefront. The team hears distant rumbling, and Zia steps out to witness a majestic Brachiosaurus walk past. The group then proceeds to the radio tower, where Franklin hacks open the door. Claire uses her handprint to activate the system, and Franklin boots up the database to track the dinosaurs via their chips. Many dinosaurs are already captured and loaded onto a ship. They locate Blue on the monitor, prompting Owen to leave with Zia and the mercenaries to retrieve her, while Claire and Franklin remain at the controls. Anticipating Blue might respond to his voice, Owen halts the truck early and walks ahead alone. Tracking prints in the dirt, Owen comes across a crashed Jeep, and a small dinosaur pokes its head out. Moments later, Blue appears. Owen gently approaches her, offering food, and speaks to her calmly. Using a clicker and a soothing tone, he begins to rebuild their connection. But just as the bond begins to form, the mercenaries fire tranquilizers at Blue. She lashes out, seriously injuring one of them. Disregarding Ken's orders, the man shoots Blue with live rounds, causing her to collapse. Furious, Owen lunges at Ken, but is shot with a tranquilizer. Zia rushes to Owen and picks up the injured man's weapon to hold off the mercenaries. She warns them that Blue won't survive the trip without her medical expertise. Reluctantly, they lower their weapons. Suddenly, the volcano erupts, causing tremors that crack the radio tower. Guards flee in panic, leaving Claire and Franklin trapped inside. Meanwhile, the mercenaries load Blue into a truck and speed away to outrun the lava flow. Owen, left behind, awakens to find a Sinoceratops licking his face. The creature bolts upon seeing the lava. Still groggy from the tranquilizer, Owen drags himself away from the danger. Back at the tower, Claire fails to contact anyone. Franklin finds a door to an old tunnel, unaware it leads to the park. Lava starts seeping in through the walls, and a Baryonyx enters via the tunnel. It's blocked by the lava, but still threatens them. Franklin grabs a chair to defend himself, and together they force the creature back, using the furniture to climb an emergency ladder. The Baryonyx attempts to follow, but they slam the hatch shut just in time. From above, they witness the volcano raining down fiery debris. Owen appears over a hill, sprinting alongside a herd of panicked dinosaurs. Claire and Franklin run to him, and the trio takes cover in the forest. They stumble upon a gyrosphere hidden behind a fallen log. Claire and Franklin climb in, but must wait as two dinosaurs battle nearby. A T-Rex soon arrives, overpowering them and ending the conflict. Owen continues running with the animals while Claire and Franklin power up the gyrosphere. The group reaches a cliff and plummets into the ocean. The gyrosphere begins to fill with water, and another magma chunk strikes it, worsening the damage. Owen swims down and attempts to shoot open the door, only to be interrupted by a minor magma blast that disarms him. He then uses his knife to unlock the door, allowing everyone to swim up to the surface. The trio reaches land and spots a plane flying by, carrying a caged dinosaur. They return to the base only to discover that the mercenaries have rounded up all the dinosaurs and are loading them onto a massive ship. Zia is treating Blue's injuries while Ken uses pliers to extract a Stegosaurus tooth for his collection. It becomes clear that the mercenaries had planned to steal the dinosaurs from the start. Claire was only brought in to reactivate the tracking system, and Owen was needed to help capture Blue. Soon, magma bombs begin to strike the base as well. Zia, the mercenaries, and the dinosaurs begin their departure on the ship. The trio runs after it, but they can't keep up. They manage to jump a truck onto the ship just in time. As they watch the island consumed by fire, they witness a lone Brachiosaurus left behind, dying at the dock. At the mansion, Eli meets with Gunnar, an auctioneer who will handle the sale of the dinosaurs. Eli shows him to a lab where he reveals a new dinosaur being developed for military use, called the Indoraptor. Maisie overhears their conversation and hurries to alert her grandfather, but Benjamin dismisses it, thinking she misunderstood. Meanwhile, aboard the ship, the trio sneaks around and reconnects with Zia, who explains that Blue needs a blood transfusion, and only the T-Rex is compatible. Claire and Owen find the T-Rex sleeping in a container and carefully approach it to draw blood. Just then, a mercenary spots the open door and shuts it, waking the T-Rex, which begins to thrash. Claire escapes through a vent in the ceiling and unlocks the door to free Owen. They return with the blood so Zia can perform surgery and remove the bullet from Blue. Back at the mansion, Maisie gains access to the hidden lab after seeing Eli enter the password. She watches old footage of Owen training a young Blue, imitating the dinosaur's movements. Suddenly, Eli walks in with Dr. Henry, who expresses concern that the mercenaries may have harmed Blue. Her DNA was used to create the new dinosaur, and she may be needed to control it. Maisie tries to remain unseen, but accidentally wanders into a restricted zone. The Indoraptor reaches through the bars to touch her. She screams, revealing her presence, and Eli finds her, locking her in a room. Later, Benjamin confronts Eli about his secret scheme and threatens to call the authorities, prompting Eli to murder him. When the ship arrives in California, the group attempts to get Blue's container off. Owen and Claire manage to sneak into a truck, but a mercenary mistakes Franklin for crew and assigns him a task. As all the trucks depart, Claire realizes the dinosaurs are being transported to Benjamin's estate. One by one, the dinosaurs are locked in cages inside the lab. Ken discovers Claire and Owen in the truck and imprisons them in a cell. Eli claims that selling dinosaurs is no different from monetizing the park, prompting Claire to smash his head against the bars. Upstairs, Maisie uses a hanger to pick the lock and escapes to the balcony, watching as bidders arrive. She dangerously scales the wall and roof to get to her grandfather's room, only to find him dead. Hearing Eli approach, she hides in the dumbwaiter. Eli pretends to be shocked by Benjamin's death and dismisses the housekeeper, saying her services are no longer needed. Maisie lowers herself in the dumbwaiter to flee. By the time Eli opens it after hearing a noise, it's already empty. The auction begins with dinosaurs displayed in cages. Eli earns huge sums while the animals are loaded onto trucks for their new owners. In the lab, Owen notices the Stygimoloch in the next cell has woken up, so he whistles to get its attention. When it breaks into their cell through the wall, Owen encourages it to smash the door open. This scene is witnessed by a terrified Maisie, who hides again in the dumbwaiter. Owen and Claire comfort her, and she runs into Owen's arms. They decide to take her along with them. The group sneaks into a vent to watch the ongoing auction. Gunnar presents the Indoraptor, stating it's a prototype and not yet for sale. As guards subdue it with electric shocks, Gunnar explains the enhancements made by Henry that make the creature a superior soldier. With just a laser pointer, the Indoraptor can be trained to lock onto a target. Bidders start making offers. Gunnar tries to insist it's not for sale, but Eli is thrilled with the money and tells him to sell it anyway. Henry protests, but Eli ignores him. Furious, Owen locates the electrical box and activates the elevator. Just then, the Stygimoloch appears, giving him an idea. He uses the elevator to send the dinosaur to the auction, where it creates chaos by headbutting attendees. A guard prepares to shoot, but Owen exits the elevator to stop him and fights off several mercenaries. The Stygimoloch continues charging through the crowd. Eli tells his men to return the Indoraptor to the lab. Owen pushes past the guards and pulls the lever to stop the cage. The Stygimoloch then exits the mansion, continuing to attack people as they flee. Meanwhile, a puzzled Ken walks in and finds the Indoraptor locked up. He shoots it with tranquilizers and waits for it to collapse before entering the cage. He tries to extract a tooth, but his tool breaks. The Indoraptor wakes up, rips off his arm, and devours him. Gunnar, hiding nearby, runs to an elevator where 3 guests are sheltering. He shoves a woman out to access the controls, causing her to scream and alerting the dinosaur. The Indoraptor attempts to follow them, but the elevator shuts right in its face. Using its tail, it smashes the control panel to reopen the doors and slaughters everyone inside. Meanwhile, Owen reunites with Claire and Maisie in a hallway, but they're intercepted by 2 guards and Eli, who demands they hand over Maisie. Refusing to comply, Owen reveals a shocking truth about Maisie's origin. Benjamin's daughter had died in a tragic car accident and never had children. Devastated, Benjamin turned to cloning technology, the same kind used to resurrect dinosaurs, to create a genetic copy of his daughter. That clone is none other than Maisie. Before they can process the news, the Indoraptor bursts in, instantly killing the guards and sending the rest fleeing. In the lab, Henry rushes to evacuate all ongoing experiments and collected dinosaur DNA. He pleads with the restrained Zia for a sample of Blue's blood, but Franklin suddenly ambushes him, knocking Henry out with a tranquilizer. He then frees Zia, and they prepare to escape. 2 mercenaries block their path, prompting Zia to release Blue from her cage. Blue immediately lunges at the guards, killing them. In the chaos, stray gunfire ruptures hydrogen gas tanks, but Zia, Franklin, and Blue escape just in time before the tanks detonate. Eventually, Owen's group reaches the model exhibit room, where they hide upon seeing the Indoraptor feeding on a dead guard. Unfortunately, they stop too close to a radio, which switches on and gives away their position. A chase follows. The Indoraptor even bends metal railings to reach them on the staircase. Owen blocks its path with a metal bar until the creature falls. When the Indoraptor finally climbs to the upper level, the group has already slipped through a hidden door. They discover the building's electrical box, and Owen disables the mansion's power. Elsewhere, Zia and Franklin detect a hydrogen cyanide leak near the lab, which could exterminate all dinosaurs if it spreads to the ventilation system. But the fans aren't functioning due to the power outage. Owen manages to reboot the system via a terminal, restoring the lights, just as the trio is quietly trying to escape. The Indoraptor spots them and crashes through the glass, knocking over a display and blocking itself temporarily. Maisie bolts, but the adults are cornered, and Claire is slashed by the dinosaur's claw. Hearing Maisie scream, the Indoraptor chases her down the hallway until she hides in a dumbwaiter. Injured and unable to move, Claire kisses Owen and begs him to save Maisie, who uses the dumbwaiter to reach her bedroom. The Indoraptor climbs onto the mansion's roof and easily slashes open the window to Maisie's room. Just as it moves in to attack, Owen bursts in, firing repeatedly, but the bullets barely faze the enhanced predator. The Indoraptor prepares to strike, only for Blue to leap in and tackle it, initiating a vicious fight. As the dinosaurs clash violently, Owen and Maisie escape through the balcony and climb down the building. The Indoraptor's rampage shatters a window, sending them sliding off the roof. Blue eventually throws the Indoraptor out after them, and it gives chase as the pair runs across a glass skylight. Rain causes Maisie to slip, and Owen grabs her, dangling from the edge. At that moment, Claire appears behind the Indoraptor and points a laser at Owen, causing the creature to charge. But its weight cracks the glass, almost sending it falling through. The Indoraptor clings to the edge and climbs back up, only for Blue to launch another surprise attack. Both creatures crash into the exhibit hall below. The Indoraptor is fatally impaled on the horns of a skull, while Blue lands safely and runs off. After the ordeal, the group reunites, and Franklin explains that the cyanide leak can't be stopped due to broken ventilation. Claire opens all the cages to free the trapped dinosaurs, but Owen reminds her they're no longer isolated on an island. Hesitating, Claire decides not to open the main exit. Maisie takes the decision into her own hands and releases the animals, explaining that they're alive, just like her. As the group exits, the loose dinosaurs eliminate the last guards. The T-Rex devours Eli and crushes the DNA vials, ensuring no more Interraptors can ever be cloned. Outside, Owen finally shares a quiet moment with Blue. He tries to get her to join him, but she growls at the cage and runs off. Days later, Claire and Owen have officially adopted Maisie. Dinosaurs are now appearing in places like beaches, zoos, and even Las Vegas. Humanity must now adapt to a new world where dinosaurs are part of everyday life.